The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey y'all, I am so excited. Welcome to A Girlfriend's Guide to Life podcast. I'm your host, Miesha Shanell. So I created this podcast to curate dialogue. I wanted to have open dialogue, candid conversations on relevant topics. My goal was just to touch, move, and inspire you to live the life that you've been given. Even through adversities, no matter what, I just want us to always keep our heads up. Today's topic is much needed in my community, especially in the community of my sisters. As mothers, partners, business owners, caregivers, we tend to direct our energy towards others, ultimately forgetting about ourselves, and inadvertently, we develop disease. Stress, obesity, and even other health challenges because we forget to stop and check on who? Us, ourselves. And I'll admit it, I was selfless for many years. I've been practicing selfishness for the last 2 years. And the result of that, I've discovered for the first time myself. And today's guest is going to show us, going to help us create the habit of loving thyself. So today's topic is self-love. Love thyself. What is self-love? And with that, so as you know, I have had the opportunity to interview some amazing guests that have been giving us information for the community, for life. There's life lessons. And today I could not let the day go by without us, dealing with the plight of the world, the plight of our country. Regardless of what it looks like, who our president is, we still have to focus on us. We still have to live, and we have to figure out how to move around if we get elected a president that we don't want. So without me babbling about the presidency, I don't even like talking politics, but I actually did my part and really am fighting for a better America. I really, truly, truly believe in my country, and I hope that we're not failed. Black people aren't failed. With that, I wanted to introduce my guest because my guest is going to help us get through this time. So my guest is a phenomenal human. As you guys know, I always bring fabulous, phenomenal, extraordinary people. And so today's guest is that. Dr. Zarif is a professional health and fitness clinician and educator. He's a naturopathic physician. He also has a PhD in philosophy with the emphasis on human nutrition. He's a certified mental therapist and has a master's in public health. He is a human rights activist and believes in equality for all, particularly around illnesses and disease prevention. Dr. Zarif utilizes a combination of holistic and Western medicine approaches, which includes learning appropriate and effective eating habits, assisting the body natural healing process. He leads with scientific approach as an alternate for anxiety, depression, and other disorders. In addition, he is also an impeccable public speaker, hence why I invited him on the show. He also produces a podcast called Alive and Well with Dr. Zarif, which can be found on anchor.com. FM? Anchor FM? We'll talk about it in a second. We'll figure it out. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Farid Zarif to A Girlfriend's Guide to Life podcast. Hi.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Overzealous with the .fm podcast.
Yes, tell us how we find that podcast.
Well, it's Anchor, like you said, Anchor.fm.
.fm. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Anchor.fm.
Yeah, thank you very much for the wonderful introduction also.
No, I interviewed you and read your bio, and this is what I got. This is you, who you are, and you're pretty phenomenal.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. I just want the world to know who you are, as I do most of my guests. I bring people on humans, Black people mainly, on the show that are of excellence, who are extraordinary, and who's going to give us some valuable information. Tell us, because I just shared a little bit about who you are, but tell us who Dr. Zarif is.
Well, I came to California about 30 years ago now.
Okay.
I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Long story short, Stevie Wonder, I started working with Stevie Wonder at a very young age. I fought like Detroit. That was a prerequisite, you know. If you wanted to keep it on your back or in your pockets, you had to protect it, you know. So I did very well. I guess a lot of that has to do with me coming up in such a large family of boys, 8 boys, 1 girl.
8 boys?
Yes. So it was fighting every day.
Yes,
you know,
and a lot of eating.
Sibling aggression and, a lot of eating. You don't really realize what your mother goes through until my mother was a single mom on top of that. Yeah, so that was
a strong woman to raise
incredible.
8 boys by herself.
Yeah.
She was phenomenal.
Yes.
Is she still alive?
No, she's passed.
High five, rest in peace.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's incredible. I see women with 2 and 3 children now, and I said, wow, how did my mother do it with 9?
Yes.
You know, so this is incredible. But I got here, and I fought in the international championships, which is the same championship Bruce Lee fought in. In martial arts, yes, I'm prolific in karate, wushu, and taekwondo. So,
are you?
Yes, so I teach. I usually give a huge class for women every year because in the honor of my sister that was raped and killed in Detroit.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thank you. And so I give that to help women to be aware of the things that they take for granted the most can be their worst enemy. So
when are you going to have a class? Like, when is your next class?
I haven't. The whole COVID-19 thing has put me off schedule, but usually I'll have to just, get a place and how can we do it, because there's a lot of physical contact. And since they haven't really gotten a handle on this disease, it's like, I don't know.
Sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm here. I worked with Stevie Wonder and I worked with Michael Jackson, the late Bobby Womack.
Wow.
I've met all kinds of Steves around a lot of very famous people. Bob Marley, I met him before he died, and just a whole slew of people.
Yes.
I started as they became aware of my skill in helping people, especially with holistic medicine and training and keeping. I kept Steve. I used to have him on Fairfax High School track out early in the morning working out. Yeah,
that is awesome.
And it was just really a great experience coming from Detroit, Michigan here. But I found that
was a
he was very incredible. And he's still an incredible man, and I was very, very happy to work with him. And since then, that's what I've been doing. I've been working with individuals to keep them in the best of health. And some of this stars, the celebrities, are very aware of what to eat, and
for sure,
they live very healthy lives. It's not just that stuff we see on TV. One of my clients is Raphael Sadiq.
Okay.
And
Ooh.
have you heard?
Yeah, from 2020.
And he is incredible, but his awareness for eating correctly is off the charts.
It's phenomenal.
He's really incredible.
He's conscious.
Yeah, so and Norman Brown is another one. He's a guitarist, a jazz guitarist. He's also very incredible. But all of the people that I've worked with through the years, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Ashford and Simpson, the Dramatics, and
so would you consider yourself a celebrity trainer?
I don't.
Because it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, I do fortunately work with a lot of celebrities, but I work with other people that are like, for instance, Chef Babette right here in the community.
Yes.
And her husband, Randall, and they're celebrities to me because they do a lot in the community and helping people at Stuff I Eat. And, also Purcell over at Simply Wholesome. All of those people I've had a chance to work with at some degree.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at what point, what was your chronological age in your siblings, with your siblings?
You mean the constellation, where did I come second?
Second.
Yes.
Oh, was it a boy? Your oldest a boy, a son?
The oldest in our family is a brother. I have one older brother, and I'm second.
Okay, where's your sister? Down.
My sister is fifth.
Okay, she's fifth. Wow. So as the second oldest in your family, when was it did you decide? And coming out of Detroit, not sure what area, but having a hard way through with a mom as a single mother, when did you decide that you were going to make it? Like, you knew at what point did you want to get out and make a better life for yourself?
I think at the age that I realized that we were poor.
And how old was that?
And it's probably during elementary school.
Okay.
And I probably was something like 9 years old.
Okay.
Because that's when I actually stopped, or I began to transition from eating pork. I stopped eating pork. My brother, my cousin, that is, he was in the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
And he introduced me to another way to eat. I remember stopped eating pork. I thought there was no other kind of food on the planet because that's all we ate.
Okay.
So that was a really difficult thing to do.
Okay.
But I finally did it, and I started boiling my water and watching what I put in my body. I stopped eating saturated fats. And
at 9?
9 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So I stopped doing all of that, and ever since then, that's what I concentrate on those things, and I became even more interested in it when I started having uncles and aunts and cousins dying at a very early age, and grandfather. It just seems like it was like a bowling ball effect, or pins down. So I got more interested in it.
And so you studied in college. You have you have a lot of a great education. I'm impressed.
Oh, thank you.
I'm impressed by your. You have a PhD, you have a master's, and a naturopathy ND.
Yes.
That is so. Tell us, at what point did you decide? When were you like, you know what, I'm gonna go all the way and become an ND?
I think it was actually here when I got to California, because I decided I just didn't want to grow up in somebody's shadow. I was a bodyguard for Stevie Wonder for years, and I had to bring that to a halt. I have to be my own man. Loved him. He was a great person and all that. Nothing against him, but it was when it came to me as a person, I had to carry my own, because everybody that I knew, I felt like they only loved me because they loved him. So I was really caught up in that kind of minutia of negative thoughts and good thoughts, and how would I balance those thoughts out. So I balanced them out by saying, you got to be your own person for yourself.
Yep. And you just segue into our topic.
All right, great.
So I have learned a lot from you in the little time that I've known you. the information that you give, it resonates, and it is in plain English. And I had to share him. I had to share.
Oh, thank you.
Share you with the world so we could understand what loving ourselves really means. Because we can say, I love myself. I do this and I do that, but I love myself. But not realizing that the way we allow people to treat us, the way we lack motivation for ourselves, those are indications or a little tug on you that shows you that you got a little bit of work to do. None of us are perfect, but it's a practice, and I'm learning it, and I'm getting very good at it. I still struggle in it, but Dr. Zarif is going to help us through it and tell us and show us what does self-love look like. So, Dr. Zarif, can you tell us what is self-love?
Well, self-love is so important, but there's a step before you get to self-love. That step is self-respect. Doing self-respect is when we actually build a value system for ourselves.
Yes.
Something that makes us resonate with the value or the worth of one's life.
Yes.
When you don't have that type of insight to yourself, that type of relationship with yourself, you can love yourself to death, literally.
Yeah.
Many people that take their lives, it's not because they hate themselves. What they hate are the choices that they're making.
Yeah.
So we have a difference in the respect, even in a relationship. It comes first. Respect first.
Yeah.
If you have respect, then that means that you have consideration for the way a person feels.
Amen.
You have respect for the way that a person approaches you or how you speak to a person. Or when you see a sister, you automatically respect her because she's a sister. You don't have to know her name and if she's famous or not. Just because she's a queen, that in itself commands respect.
Yeah.
So
Amen.
Bringing up a person in a environment, or if that person has a belief system that someone is less than them or someone isn't worth anything to them, that is the worst way to start off a relationship with yourself and with another.
Yes.
One of the most glad times of meeting a person is when you meet a person and this light comes on about, wow, what they can do for me and what I can do for them.
Right.
Not the lopsided way. It's like, ooh, I'm getting all his stuff or I'm getting all her stuff.
Right.
It's really about what you can give to
Balance.
each other to help each other to grow,
Yes.
to become each other's to make them healthier and to wealthier and stronger.
Yeah.
These are the ers of the individual that you would meet. When it's lopsided like that, believe me, the way that it starts off is the way it's going to end up.
Yeah. That's what my grandma told me.
Yeah, once you build the foundation of respect, then and only then love should follow that.
Okay.
So love is something that is a gift from the acceptance and the impression that respect has on each other, on the both of you. When you actually respect this person, and then you start to be more open to the person, more forgiving to the person, allow or to be more tolerant of what they do or how they look or how they act. That's what happens when you love a person. You don't see, when you don't love a person, oh, she got a mustache, or look at her, she got, every little thing, right?
Right. Yes.
And after. But when you love a person, all that stuff is forgiving.
Yes.
You fall in love with the invisible.
Yes.
The things that you can't see. You don't depend on what you see in order for you to love that person.
Right.
When you love a person just because of what you see, is definitely superficial.
Yeah. So you saying that, so loving ourselves, we have to, respect ourselves. Right? Respect.
Love can be or should be something that is subsequent to respecting yourself. It follows respecting yourself first.
Yes.
Because that is the value system, and that can easily lead into the difference in confidence and self-esteem.
Yeah. Right. So you can actually segue into that. So right now with respect, I know for me, respect, I won't allow certain things in it can be, I'm thinking not just romantic relationships, but just for who I am as a woman. If something doesn't resonate in my spirit the way it's supposed to, if I don't feel treated in a way that it feels for me, then I, woman or man, can't allow that person into my space. And so it's helped me with boundaries, being able to allow yourself to know when to let go or when to even open yourself up. Mm-hmm. And in our conversation, you were telling the difference between confidence and self-esteem. Yes. Yes. So tell us the difference between self-esteem and confidence.
Well, self-esteem is very much like the respect that we're talking about. It has the same attributes, and that is to find the worthiness of oneself, the value system. When you value yourself, you make different decisions.
Yes.
A person can say, no, I'm good with me. I'm all right. No, y'all go ahead. I'll be selfish. Just like you were saying at the beginning of the show, is selfish means of or about self. Mm-hmm. We've learned the negative connotations of selfishness, and that is like, oh, you selfish, meaning that
you don't help. You don't do anything.
You don't care. Yeah. You're not considerate.
Yeah.
But be considerate of yourself first.
Absolutely.
And this way you don't get caught up in all of the things that distract you from yourself. This whole world right now, for the most problems that we have as individuals, is because we have learned to be distracted from ourselves.
Say that again.
The whole world
Seriously.
is in a situation where the reason that they are not as powerful as they can be because they are distracted from themselves.
Yeah.
So if we come up in an atmosphere where for instance, you have a child that you would say, good morning, king,
yes.
or good morning, princess,
right.
or good morning, queen.
Yes.
You see, or, how can I make your day better today? Instead of saying, here I am, learn how to say, there you are.
Yeah.
You see?
Amen. Yeah.
So it's a good balance or equipoise when it comes to learning how to treat oneself first. You will find also that you will attract people just like you. You see?
Boom.
That you attract
boom.
people just like yourself, because once you attract people like yourself, you will get a good idea about what you are about.
That's so cool.
If you're not, if you look around in your circle and you have all of these people that are just that wanted to have this little small talk, people that just want to chat about stuff that's not significant.
Yes.
But if you think about somebody that you're speaking about and they're talking about changing their life,
right? You're like,
changing the world.
My ears perk up.
Yes.
I'm like, woo, you speaking my language.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And when you walk away from that conversation,
feel empowered and like you feel like you could just fly.
Exactly.
I want to piggyback on something. So I don't do much small talk. So it's kind of like socially awkward and I could be socially awkward or I could be chatty Cathy in a social environment. And when I become awkward, it's because people are small talking. If I'm silent, and if you know me, I talk a lot. I like to just chat, right? If you see me in a social environment, I am just like, it's because they're not talking about anything that is of interest of me. It's not significant. It's not about saving the world or getting a dog, a stray dog. It's about, just random things. I want to talk about deep things. So I agree. I can sit on the phone and talk to my sister and girlfriends for hours because we're talking about the same thing. We're talking about pumping each other up. Go back to school and get our master's. Maybe we should go back to school and be pumping ourselves up to be better. And it's true, my circle, we're just like, not to get off on a tangent, but you're like you're sparking me. I'm sparked up inside because I need to hear this as much as our audience.
And that's what a conversation should be about. I mean, when you're talking to a person, it's just like sharing a meal. Yes. You want every meal that you share with the person, a meal that is enjoyable. Yes. You don't want to say, well, this is my off day, eat this junk.
Right.
So that's the same thing that you do with conversations. You don't have an off day for a great conversation. Every time you talk to the person, you want to bring them glad tidings. You want to say something that would help to add to their already radiant selves. Yes. You want to be a person that they were glad that they talked to, that they were glad that they shared part of their day with.
Yes, you see? Always.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So it is really, it comes down to every man and woman is known by the decisions that he makes or she makes. Mm-hmm. So make the decision to want to be great. Make the decision to be great. Make the decision to want to grow, to want to have an exciting life. And then after you get all of that together, the respect, you have the value, you have your direction, or you have at least your mind made up how you're going to direct your energy. Make sure you put together a soundproof plan. See, you have to plan. Killer Mike says, plot, plan, schematicize, and mobilize. So, you know, it's like those are the things that we need to do, and that's what we need to hear. And I think today that's why now you have these incredible sisters that are leading, they're standing up, they're taking over.
Half of the mayors around the world are black women.
Incredible.
Around the country. Around our country.
It's really incredible how all of this energy and the smarts that I am so proud when I see sisters do, you know, what they do. I mean, I'm just really, fearless. really excited. And, you know, I mean, even with the producer of this show, you know, I was like, oh, that's my celebrity. Ooh. That's my celebrity because that is so beautiful. Thank you. That, you know, we have these things going and that we stand up so we can stand out.
Yes. Amen. Stand up so we can stand out. Yes. We still have time. And if anybody's watching, would you like to call us and talk to Dr. Zarif and myself? You can call us at 323-815-4204. Felicia, is that the right number? All right, 323-815-4204. Call in and talk to us. We got a few minutes. I don't want the conversation to end. I want to talk to you. So we're going to segue diet into, or I don't want to call it diet, but a lifestyle.
Okay.
Lifestyle choices. Yeah. I am big on fitness and nutrition, so we have that in common. Mm-hmm. I'm an athlete. In fact, I'm actually doing a 6-week challenge, fitness challenge. I'm supposed to lose 5% body fat in 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. I'm on week 5. Don't think that I am going to get to my goal. I realize that is a very hefty goal. Mm-hmm. At 18%, trying to get to 13 in 6 weeks is like almost impossible, y'all. Y'all gotta. It was just, I tried, and I don't think I'm gonna make it, but I still have up until next Monday. Mm-hmm. So working out and fitness and nutrition has been a part of my life since I was 8 years old. I ran track in high school, in elementary, middle school, high school. Mm-hmm. Got a track scholarship for college, but decided to take academic instead. I was over track. But I've never stopped running. I've never stopped exercising. And the diet comes along with that, like just a healthy whole diet. So being an athlete, I was lucky enough to learn that from coaches. But what I've seen now as we get older, as we age, as my community of girlfriends, we are aging, we are seeing things that are changing, and there's some reverse reactions because of the things that we didn't do in our 20s, right? And so I feel like I have been able to just stay fit because it became a lifestyle. A lot of us don't know what that looks like, and if they do, they kind of ignore it. So I wanted you to to talk about bringing it in, merging it into self-love, because I believe that that is a part of loving thyself. Talk to us about the component, because that's where your ND is in. And so talk to us about nutrition and fitness.
Well, thank you for that. That's a great one. That's a wonderful way to look at this whole thing, is that the psychology, once the psychology is in place, it can be followed with the nutrition.
Okay. Yes.
If a person cannot control their emotions, they can't control what they're eating. Boom. So you'll see many people that have problems with eating healthy, changing from vegetarian to vegan, or vegan to pescatarian, pescatarian to ovo-lacto vegetarian, whatever they're going.
Yes, whatever they're doing.
What really allows this person to avoid extremities like addictions and other things like anorexia nervosa, bulimia, or nocturnal eating disorders and so forth, is a balance, or what is called equipoise, of their mentality or emotional content.
Okay.
See, when a person is volatile or explosive with their emotion, and they don't feel that they can control that, and that they can't turn it off, and that they can't manage it, they cannot measure it, they will have the same problems with their eating.
Oh, got it.
So those of you that have been, the reason that we haven't been successful with our eating is because many people they forfeit the idea that there could be something wrong something off balance emotionally. So what happens is that we have body dysmorphia, we have all of these different types of ailments and maladies that stem from not learning how to communicate with ourselves.
Woo!
So keep that in mind. If you do that, you'll see why South Beach and why Atkins and why the Zone and all these other diets, they don't work.
Right.
Including my diet, the rhythm diet, because first what you have to have in place is you have to have your psychological balance. Once you get that, you can balance everything else.
That
by using those principles.
The truth.
Yes.
Because I say, if you can lose weight, you can do anything. Because losing weight is the hardest thing you can do.
Here's something that's harder than losing weight: keeping it off. You see?
Yes.
Because losing weight can be an emotional thing. You'll see, like, even when somebody has broken up in a relationship and they were unhealthy in the relationship, one of the first things she or he wants to do, I got to show her I'm going to get rid of this weight.
Okay.
For like a woman that wants, I'm going to hit him with this, you know. And then you might have a man that says, yeah, wow, I'm going to chisel all this. I'm going to make her whatever that game is.
Okay.
So you have the very important thing to remember out of everything that we're saying here, that when you lead your eating problems and your balance of meals with a psychological balance, you have a far better chance in sticking with it than you do if you just say, I just want to eat a certain way.
Yes.
And the reason that we've been doing that so long is because it works for people that's getting paid.
Yeah.
So
Amen.
when somebody like me talks about nutrition, I don't want to hear, I know a candy bar is sweeter than an apple. I know that, that simple stuff that people has been regurgitating for years. But when you say something different, when I talk about the rhythm diets, for instance.
Talk about that. Let's talk about the rhythm diet.
The rhythm diet is based off of your brain and your heart activity. The rhythm diet. Also, the circadian rhythm. The circadian rhythm is here, if I may. On the back this is all about the hours that you wake up.
Okay.
So it's not about 9 a.m. and you eat lunch at 12 and then you eat again at 7 p.m. and then you go to sleep shortly after that. That's what most people do.
Yeah.
But how about people that are awake at those people that are awake at 4 a.m.
Yeah, that work
what
graveyard.
time do they eat?
Right, right.
So here just lets you know it's all about the circadian rhythm. That is the time that you wake up and the time that you go to sleep.
Okay.
It'll take a long time to go through this, but I'll give you the short part of it. We have about 6 times that you can eat a day. And that is the first meal would be like your breakfast, which is all fruit and water, and in warm, hot, cold places you want to have like hot cereal. Then you have the 5th and 7th hour, which you have like you start to graduate with one of the protein dominant foods, including beans and nuts. And if you eat meat, including those protein dominant foods. And then your 7th hour is your largest meal. In the middle of your day, not at the bottom of your day, dinner, because you end up taking all of that food to sleep. And if your DNA suggests that you're slim, guess what? You're still working your brain and your heart overtime.
Yeah,
then you take a 10th hour break with another snack. And then between your 12th and your 13th hour, that is the time that you eat the smallest meal. And your smallest meal should be those foods that complement sleep.
We'll have to come back.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
That'll be a good show too.
That will change the way that the world eats.
Yeah.
That will change the way that your whole family eats. Right now, it's impulsive.
Yeah.
Impulsivity is the exact thing as reaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
And whenever you react, reaction doesn't require thought. Response does.
Right. I can relate to, because I grew up in a home where we ate salads, but there was a lot of pork. There was a lot of
salad dressing.
I'm not even going front. We did have vegetables and fruit, and we didn't have our vegetables weren't cooked dead. So I did get a little bit of eating habits from growing up, but it wasn't until I met Dr. Sabi. And I had just had my son, and I was nursing him. I had been nursing maybe like 8 months.
Yes.
And I was wanting to find alternative milk to breast milk, and I didn't want to give him formula. And so someone told me, I think it was a coworker, I don't even remember. A coworker said, you should go over to, I lived in a valley, you should go over to, in LA to Dr. Sabi and he'll help you. So I went in there and he enlightened me on nutrition. I said I was already active.
Yes.
But I still needed, help in what nutrition looked like.
Okay.
I know that I brought him up to say that he was someone that was very impactful in my life, like a lot of people's lives. I know that you also studied with him and believed in his practice. What do you think about the way Dr. Sabi and Mr. African, how their way of lifestyle they're promoting?
Well, thank you. If you had like Baba Dick Gregory, and you had Dr. Africa, and you had the late Dr. Sabi. All of these wonderful brothers, may they all rest in peace. They really made an incredible contribution, especially to the so-called African Americans, of which I refer to us as the original man. But we had such a wonderful gift of contributions from all three of them. And we still have some really incredible minds. So I'm glad that you mentioned them. And, Dr. Sabi and I did plenty shows, especially KJLH on the front line.
Okay.
And they would always want to get us to, go against each other, for, I guess, ratings or whatever. But I really enjoyed him.
He was awesome.
Yes.
With
so
his
was
time.
Dr. Africa was incredible also, and Dick Gregory was incredible also. I mean, these are men that came. I mean, they were the pioneers. And nobody knew anything about, like Irish moss or sea moss.
Or sea moss, right.
Sea moss and Irish moss is the same thing, but different names. But nobody knew about that, and nobody knew about other things. That there's different approaches that these individuals had, but the contribution that they made were just priceless.
Yeah, they have been very impactful to the community thus far. Mm-hmm. I wanted to, we still have a little bit more time. I wanted you to talk about a passion project that you are working on right now, currently working on.
Oh, I'm working on my website, so I'm definitely passionate about that.
Okay.
And
tell us about you're doing it. You're doing it.
Yes,
or you're
I'm doing it myself. It's almost finished. We're only days away now.
Okay.
And I'll have my new line of herbal combinations there. I'll have some solo combinations, some things by itself like ginger, which is an antispasmodic, and I'll have things like saw palmetto and those kind of things.
So you're working on branding your, does it go in with the rhythm diet?
Yes, all of there's definitely a place for that, but these are things that would help you to regulate bowel movement.
Okay.
Saw palmetto is all about, prostate and urinary tract. The male gonads.
Okay.
And then you have other different combinations that I've put together to help you sleep longer, lose weight, be without pain, things of that nature, give you more energy. So I have
so you're going to have
a whole line.
A whole line.
Yeah, I have about 40 combinations.
I don't want us to stop talking about, I got to bring us back because we went all the way off a tangent. Not really off a tangent.
Oh, it's all related.
We're just having a conversation. Uh-huh. But so we have respect, we have lifestyle. What are some other things that we could do that helps us continue to work on ourselves?
Well, again, it gets back to your plan. You have to have a plan. It can't be this thing that I committed to my memory, this the way that I am. That's all right. I live like this. Stick to the plan.
A plan works.
Yes.
Write it down.
Yes. A plan should include your desire. Mm-hmm. What do you want? So that's all of your ideas. Yes. That's what plot means.
Yes.
Take all of your ideas. And then after that plan is to organize those ideas.
Yes.
And then when you get to schematicize how you're going to use those ideas.
Boom.
And then mobilize is putting those ideas into action. You have to have a plan. It's a great book. It's called Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll show you chapter by chapter. And there's a Kenneth Kimbrough, I believe his name is, that has a book out. He has the black version of that.
Oh.
So if you like that,
I have to get that
Think
from
and
you.
Grow Rich.
Yeah, I read that several times.
Yes.
In fact, I used that to start this podcast. I just wrote the plan down. It was during COVID. I wrote it down, Googled it, made a few phone calls to family members. They brought me over here. She was having a class. Took the class to see if it was something that I liked.
Yeah.
And then working with Felicia, we wrote a plan out, and boom, this is show 11.
Yeah.
So the plan works. You have to write it down, make it plain. I always say, if you don't take it out of your head, I always ask guy when I first start dating a guy, I'll ask him, does he have a life plan? I'll say, do you have like any goals, like short-term goals? And then I'll say, you have 1 year goal, 5 year. Do you know if he doesn't have a goal, I can't dwell, because I can't have my goals and you have nothing. Now you're going to be a distraction. But a lot of people say, oh, I have it in my head. You got to take it out of your head, because it's not a plan, a goal, until you write it on paper.
Yeah. And ladies, because I'm a man, let me offer you some advice. There's a lot of men that are well rehearsed that can really answer your questions very well. So it's something that I want you to remember. Time and action. Whenever you're looking to be with a person, first take time to observe their behavior and look at their action. This will give you an indication of how they respond to different situations. And the third thing is to be patient. Just don't go into a relationship where you meet a guy and you go out and have tea with him and you're in the bed with him that same night.
Exactly.
So it's really important to it's worth waiting a little while. It's worth waiting
a
and
long
observing.
time. Like, I feel like you get to learn them. I feel like nowadays, like, I just feel like I'm not just freely, I'm single. This is the first time we are discussed this. I'm 5 years. So I'm dating. I want to see what is out there. And so because I am dating, it's not good for me to be intimate with all types of guys. So you have
like
to.
The Bachelorette.
Yes. You get a rose and you get a rose and you get a rose. Give my rose back. So for me, I'd say that. It's like, listen, if that's what you're looking for, I'm not with that. If we can get to know each other, then we can go from there. And a lot of times they wait around, wait and do.
Yeah,
so,
some guys can do that. You gotta. It's really a tricky thing, and I'm just doing this. I'm saying this because I know this well. And teaching women martial arts, a part of that is when I interview them and the things that they say and the things that they allow.
Yes.
It's a whole different mentality when you have made up your mind to share yourself with another person. This is not for just some temporary hobby. This is your life involved with that. So it's worth really taking time to look into it deeper, being more patient, and remember that the way that started off is the way that most likely is going to end up.
Yeah. So if you start that way, just know that if it doesn't work out in 6 weeks, you know why. So, yeah. So what were we were discussing? But I didn't went off on a tangent. You said something to me. I wrote. You didn't know this, but when I met you, I was writing notes.
Okay. Cool.
And I wanted you to go delve into when you said, find your child that radiates from within. Don't forget the simple things. Oh, I was listening to the podcast.
Okay.
Your podcast that you sent. And it's like finding your inner child is can be daunting to some.
Yes.
But finding that child, I feel like, is what gets us to the other side. What do you think of that?
I think you're right. Like with, it's only daunting when you are, I think, rationalizing it in a daunting way. If you're looking at it,
thank you for checking me.
Yeah, but I think that like when just like you're smiling now,
right.
To me that's the child in you.
Yes.
Like when you say little jokes and find those things funny, or even smiling or being, as I'm sitting here, I could choose to be like this, you know.
Right.
Or I could choose to be like, hey,
yes.
You know, so it's a choice.
Yes.
And that child usually makes a decision to appreciate some of the simplest things in life. You know, like, water. Or, you know, a plane, or, the spin cycle.
Which
is
cool.
You know, things that are beautiful. So sometimes we become so mature, overly maturated, that we forget some of the simple things.
Yes.
Hi, how are you? Hi, my name is, what's your name? Oh,
Miesha.
You know, you see what I mean?
Yes.
So those kinds of things, we get too caught up in some of the things that we were traumatized by earlier, perhaps, or some not so good experiences. But keep in touch with that child. So have in your environment somebody that can, add a little chuckle every now and then.
Right.
Somebody that, if you're not a person that likes to laugh, maybe be around a person that likes to laugh.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I love that. I love finding, when I found my inner child, I didn't even realize that I was fun. Like growing up, I was a kind of like a sad teenager. Yeah. And it wasn't until I got through it, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm happy, I'm fun. And once I found my inner child, I love it.
That's beautiful. There you go.
I enjoy the fun parts of my personality. Like, for instance, for Halloween, I dressed up.
Nice.
I dressed up. I put in my own makeup. I love playing dress up, as you can see. And Halloween was one of those things that we got to do as a kid. I grew up in a Christian home, but my dad didn't take that away from us. He didn't take that away. So it helped me, I feel like, allow my inner child to never die.
Right. Right. So the thing that I would like to just puts in mind of these things that keep you happy.
Yes.
When you smile, you have, remember, DOSE. Dopamine.
Okay.
Oxytocin.
Okay.
Serotonin.
Yes.
And endorphins.
Okay.
These are all of your feel-good neurotransmitters. And these neurotransmitters are these neurons, these nerves that send nerve impulses to your brain for you to secrete these hormones that make you feel wonderful. So, and the same thing happens with some things like when it comes to addiction. Okay. That's part of my work and working in therapy are people that get these same hormones for taking things that will wreck their body.
Right.
Because it's a feel-good thing. You know, it's like smoking a certain thing, tooting a certain thing, shooting up a certain thing, smoking a certain thing, you see. So all of these things can cause that feeling of euphoria, because that's all of them. The ultimate thing that a person gets from doing those things is euphoria.
Yeah.
So again, keep those things in mind, because you can start the flow of endorphins by smiling. Right. Exercise is another thing. Yes. Exercise is something that can change your whole brain state.
Absolutely.
Tony Robbins says very clearly that you cannot occupy the same space with depression and exercise.
Yep, you can't.
So, you know, as a matter of fact, I heard you were a bona fide throwdown instructor. So,
boom. So, yeah, I used to teach a class. I taught yoga because I'm a certified yoga instructor. I taught Zumba. I taught fitness classes, one-on-one. I was a trainer. I had every certification known. I had it. And I had classes, and I taught classes for a long time. And then when I got divorced, I decided that I no longer wanted to teach. I wanted to focus on me, because that wasn't something that I wanted to do. It was like forced on me, and I happened to be good at it because I ran track and I'm an athlete. And so I kind of like segued outside of being a teacher and went to be a student. So I've been a student for 5 years, and I've learned a lot, hence why I'm in this challenge I think I mentioned to you. I've trained so many people like you've trained lots of celebrities, gotten a lot of people, women and men, in shape for police academy, to go into the military. Like, it was a great run. And I have still are being
so
asked.
Young, a great run. You sound like that's I tell you what. I give you a challenge. What we should do is get your folks, I get my folks together. We meet up. We got to find a place, and we'll give a great big workout. I'm sure that you people out there, you ready to work out. You're tired of being at home. So let us know what you think about it.
You hear that, guys?
In your subscribe first, and then leave a message and let us know.
We got to get to subscription, but okay, so you guys hear that. For those of you, plenty of you that have been asking me to strap my shoes back on. There you go. Dr. Zarif has called me out. Yes. So stay tuned. I'm going to find some place to see where we can go. I'm going to scout out a location where it's COVID friendly, and we'll figure out. I don't know what that looks like. Yeah. My schedule is jam-packed, but we'll figure it out.
Let's do it before.
I like a challenge.
Let's do it before the 1st of next year.
Okay, January?
That's like we got 2 months.
2 months.
That's
okay.
All right. Let's do it.
Let's see. Okay.
Let's do it.
Stay tuned for that. We are going to definitely look into that. That'll be fun. We're
gonna put it together. We'll make it happen.
Okay, that'll be fun.
Some funky music.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a DJ.
Funkinetics in the house.
What is Funkinetics?
Funkinetics. That's a style of exercise that I founded. Funkinetics. And we do, if you like the karate, kickboxing.
Oh, that would be awesome. Maybe we can do that.
Oh, we can do that.
Let that be the class.
It's a decision.
Boom. Zoom.
I can do them all and combine it. It's beautiful.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So we can do it. You come on out. We'll do somewhere where we'll stay out there for about 2 hours.
Oh,
and
90
that way,
minutes.
So yeah. So we have 90 minutes is perfect.
Yeah,
and so we'll have
minutes.
something like that. We go ahead and set it up. You come out. And then even if you're hardly moving, you'll still get a good workout.
Okay. Hello? I learned it's not how many reps you do, it's consistency. So if you come out and just move and you haven't moved in months, just that little movement from you getting out of bed into the car, to the park, or to the building and doing a little shimmy, 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 believe me, you've burned off more calories than you would have sitting at home. So
anything beats a zero.
Exactly. So I want y'all to come out whenever we set the date. I have to hurry up and work. I like a challenge.
Yeah, just stay tuned. We'll make it happen. We'll stay in contact and find out where we can do it.
Before we go, though, we have a few more minutes. I would like you to give your shout outs. Where can we find you? Where can the audience find you if they are interested in booking you for speaking engagements, to talk about Rhythm Diet? How can they find you?
Okay, you can simply, my office is 310-926-5115. You can also get me on Twitter at Dr. Farid Zarif, or at Food Slaves. You can also get me on Instagram, and that's at Dr. F. Zarif or at 8 Octaves, and Facebook. And also coming up, nutrition.co. That's the name of the new site that will be available. And you can get me through there.
Okay. You gave us every way to track you down. So
if
you didn't get that, then fast forward it when this is over and you could get his contact information. Well, we are about out of time. You guys, what I've been doing is I started off with 30-minute shows, and the last 2 shows I have gone for an hour. So I'm pretty proud of myself. That is progression, y'all. Yeah. But anyway, before we go, I got to give a shout out to my emancipated youth. Keep your head up. I'm here. Write into me if there's anything that you need. If there's a conversation, if there's a financial need, is there food, clothes, whatever you need. If you're an emancipated youth, contact me at Girlfriend's Guide to Life on Facebook. That's Girlfriend's Guide to Life, spelt the way it sounds on Facebook. On Instagram, it's Girlfriend's Guide to Life, LYFE. And find me. Look me up. Send me a DM. I'm here to support you in any way. What I don't want you to do is give up. Keep your head up. Yes, the road is tight. You got to squeeze through the mountains sometime, but you got to just keep going. Do not give up. Everybody else, I don't know what the presidency looks like, but what we can't do is get depressed, because that is knocking you off your throne. So put your crowns on and be the kings and queens that we need Black people to make it. We gotta change, be change makers. Be change makers. Without further ado, I'm done. I'm tired of talking. I love you guys. Until next time, thank you, Dr. Zarif.
It's a pleasure.
For coming to Girlfriend's Guide to Life. I appreciate you. Peace and blessings.